Welcome. I wanted to introduce one of my playlists called Choose Your Character, an investigation into modern masculinity. On this playlist, I want to do a variety of things. So, monologues, technical trainings, interviews with men on what masculinity means to them, interviews with fathers on fatherhood, interviews with young people on their issues as they navigate masculinity and becoming a man in modern societal contexts. I also want to do some text studies on a variety of books on masculinity. Um, Anyone who commits themselves to a cause, it's typically for a reason. And it's typically because that cause has personally impacted them in a very significant way that leads them to want to devote a significant amount of time towards that cause. And obviously, for me on this channel, Emotional Side Quests, I'm devoting a lot of my time towards mental health, navigating the mental health journey, towards men's issues, how to become the man that you want to be in the world, what masculinity means in different contexts, and storytelling, because I feel passionate about that. Um, and so the reason I'm choosing this material is because it has deep personal relevance for me. And I think there's a lot of young men who would really benefit from this. Like, I wish I had someone creating this content for me as I was coming up through it. But I didn't have someone doing that. There are people out there who are doing it, but not someone I resonated with strongly. Um, so I'm trying to be that change that I wish that I want to see in the world. I think we're facing really interesting times. We're sitting on the brink of the development of artificial general intelligence, and I think this is going to change the world in a variety of ways. But it's really going to change, I think, our economics, which will in turn affect everyone, but men's source of meaning and fulfillment, which typically came from wealth creation, from career. Some of that will still happen, but if we have, say, an automated economy, an economy of abundance, and we're then forced to like tax corporations who are benefiting from automation and redistribute some of that wealth through universal basic income or what have you. What does it look like to be a man and derive meaning in that context? If not if, but when the metaverse is more built out and you can spend as much time as you want in the metaverse and it's fully immersive, what does it mean to be a man in that context? When you can have an AI girlfriend who's uh, fulfilling, validating in the metaverse, totally stimulating, when you can increase your ecstasy level by 25% or increase your muscle size of your avatar by 30% or some of your appendages by 40%, right? That is going to be such an addicting landscape. And I think we're going to see a lot of men addicted to metaverse, video games. I think we're going to see a lot of men addicted to AI girlfriends. I think we're going to see a lot of men addicted to designer drugs. Um, and so, in a society where traditionally valued attributes of being a male, earning an income, being a provider, are going to shift so substantially, how do we raise the next generation of young men? I think there are pathways forward. There's challenges for sure, but there's pathways forward. And it's my opinion that we need more positive male role models to reach out to the next generation to help guide them because they're going to be up against some shit. Um, and so, again, on this podcast, I want to interview men on masculinity. I want to interview fathers on fatherhood. I want to do personal monologues. I want to do technical trainings. And I want to do text studies of masculine books, books on masculinity. Um, there's going to be a variety of viewpoints on this. I'm not going to, block. My aim is to provide men with a full array of ideas of masculinity that transcend all socio identifiers. So it's going to be like very far right ideas of masculinity, very far left ideas of masculinity, and everything in between, from cultures long ago to cultures current, atheist, religious, um, wealthy, poor. We're just going to draw from everything: straight, queer, anything. We're going to draw from it. We're going to talk to lifters. We're going to talk to cross dressers. We're going to talk to kinky men. We're going to talk to pastors. We're going to talk to all different kinds of men. I think you'll find that there's going to be some common threads and common streams of manhood. There's certainly going to be a lot of variation. And that's good because I'm not trying to sell you on Will's interpretation of masculinity on this channel. I'm trying to provide an array of experiences and identities that you can use to make an informed decision on how you want to show up in the world. So buckle up, tune in. I will strive to increase the quality of my content every single time I post. So give me some grace up front, and I promise in time I'm going to have some really awesome stuff coming up for you guys. Shout out to my other two playlists. The first one is the Knights of the Round Table, conducting men's groups live. So here my goal is to actually have men from across the internet meet together, and we do a virtual men's group. Like I run every Sunday, I run a virtual men's group, and I'll walk them through how to do men's groups, and ideally they would take that back to their home community and start their own men's groups and support communities. So that's one. And then the other one is dungeon crawls. And these are deep conversations. So dungeon crawls, you're going under the surface to deep levels. You're exploring different facets of people's mental health journey. You're finding treasure, gold, loot, amazing things from their journey. You're finding monsters, the scary things, the hard things. You're finding traps, places where they get stuck. You're solving puzzles together, whether it's them saying it out loud and they reframe it a different way because they're hearing themselves say it, or maybe in some piece of advice they give me or I give them. So again, the 3 series are going to be Choose Your Character, an investigation into modern masculinity, which is this playlist. There's going to be Knights of the Round Table men's groups, where we do virtual online men's groups. And then finally, there's going to be Dungeon Crawls, which are deep dive questions, really getting into the nuances of men and women and non-binary and everyone in between's lived human experience uncensored. So thank you for joining me on this journey, and like and subscribe. Let's grow this shit.